Hey, welcome to Freedom Speech and You. Let me get myself on camera. Okay. Hey, I'm your host, Kenneth Ahado. And this is Freedom Speech and You. And I might be a little bit distracted tonight because I'm hearing myself in my headphones and I'm not sure whether I usually do that. So, oh well. I'm doing solo again tonight, but we have Andrea as our executive producer in chat. So you will see her in chat tonight. And what we got going on tonight is we have Father's Day. So we are here to discuss the topics that you want to discuss. And we also have Juneteenth. And tomorrow is a federal holiday in some states. So get ready for that. Okay. Let me see if I mute that. Does that change that? Nope. Okay. I'm just going to hear myself in my own headphones. Well, so I see 3 viewers at present. I see 1 on Twitch and 2 on YouTube. So if you would log yourselves in, get in the chat. Good to see you, Andrea. Looks like the viewers are starting to show up. We see more people on YouTube. We have Robin. Hey, so, and unfortunately, this is Andrea's 8th day without a voice. So that's why she's doing the executive producer duty in chat. So good to have everybody here. As you sign in, will you please tell us who you are and please tell us what type of topics you'd like to discuss tonight. So, hey, Debbie, good to have you here. So one of the topics is obviously Father's Day. If you'd like to tell us how your Father's Day went, if you visited with your father today, if you are the father in your family. Debbie says your house looks nice. Virtual houses always look nice. Thank you for letting Benny Loco know, Andrea. Okay. So the notices went out in the Discord, and the notices went out on Twitter, and of course, the Facebook, the YouTube, Twitch, they send all their notices. You can let your friends know about us tonight. And I will put the banner up for a second. So this is how you tell people how to get to us. So we have a website, kenotto21.wixsite.com, freedom speech and. Okay, I'm going to take that out, get back to the comments. Debbie says her husband took the kids to the arcade and to lunch at a burger joint. They had a great time. Robin says, I got my notice on YouTube. Thank you. Good. Seems like YouTube has been 50-50 sometimes lately. Okay. So I'm not sure why I got an echo, but I am going to tolerate that. Andrea is letting people know that we are on. So I guess one thing that I could do to reduce the problem with the noise in my ear is turn it down until I need it. Okay. So I can just turn the sound down, and that way I won't have to hear myself echo. And that'll keep me from slowing down, and that'll be so much better for all of you, because then you will not hear me react to myself throughout the whole show. So One of the things that I had loaded up in case we didn't have a topic immediately off the start is I had something about Juneteenth loaded up. So I'm going to bring that up. Andrea says her dad had COVID, so she couldn't see him. That's unfortunate. We hope that he gets better soon. So in states where Juneteenth is still not a day off, activists see a missed opportunity, says this article by NPR. Let me turn my sound back up and make sure that you're not hearing something from this. Okay, it's quiet. Good. If you all start hearing something from it because it starts playing something, will you please let me know in chat? So, why is this? Okay, there it goes. I just had to select it. That must be what happened to me last week when I couldn't scroll, as I must not have had the browser selected. So this lady is raising her hand in the air during a Juneteenth reenactment celebration in Galveston, Texas, says the description for that photo from Getty Images. The article basically says last year, Juneteenth became a federal holiday, and South Carolina organizer Jamal Bradley was excited because of this to finally get the recognition for the holiday the day that it deserves. But his enthusiasm was dashed when he learned that state leaders decided not to follow suit in observing the holiday. He says, quote, "It just lets me know there's still work left to do in South Carolina," end quote. He's the one that started the petition to make the day a state holiday. So the day is also known as Emancipation Day or Freedom Day, and it commemorates the day in 1865 when federal troops arrived in Galveston, Texas, and gave word to enslaved African Americans that they were free, more than 2 years after Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. The holiday had been celebrated by many Black families for generations, but began to gain wider attention in 2020 after the murder of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. Despite federal recognition, Black organizers are beginning to see that local support can be a harder lift. While every state at some point recognized Juneteenth as a day of observance, 26 states have yet to adopt it as a paid public holiday, including 7 of the former Confederate states, according to Pew Research Center. So I see you in chat and you're exchanging pleasantries with Andrea and discussing her father's COVID vaccination, and Andrea is giving you details about her father and how bad it is, saying it's as bad as a sinus infection, and that it's unfortunate that her brother caught it because her brother has MS and he lives with them. So that is really unfortunate. Continuing with the article, reasons for the delay vary from state to state. In some places, it's due to lagging bureaucracy. In other places, it's due to disputes over when to actually celebrate the holiday. Where did you check something on Twitter? Check on Twitter for what you posted. Looking. And if it's not Twitter, please let me know. Okay, I see that. That's an Instagram. Okay, so the Instagram says Juneteenth. Bring my camera up to full. Hang on. Juneteenth, what is it? Juneteenth is an observance of the freedom of all enslaved people in the United States of America. On June 19th, 1865, 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, Union soldiers went to Galveston, Texas to enforce the freeing of all remaining slaves. It's annually on this day of the year, June 19th. Okay, was that what you meant? Twitter. Okay. Well, that was your Twitter, which took me to Instagram. Let me see if you have other. Come on, behave. That's what you tweeted out from Instagram. So I think that's what you wanted me to read. So we said in other places the reason for not celebrating is disputes over when to celebrate the holiday. Yes, I agree with you, Robin. I hope that her father and brother will both be okay, as well as anybody else inside the family home. Likewise, there is a range of implications. On a practical level, the lack of a state holiday means local employees may not be able to take time off to observe Juneteenth. It may also mean state government buildings will remain open on the holiday. But to many Black activists, the extent to which Juneteenth is embraced by state government speaks volumes about their progress toward racial justice. Bradley continued, quote, "Our lawmakers are missing an opportunity to show that this state is ready to move forward," end quote. So he's still talking about South Carolina. The article continues, it could be years until every state's adopt Juneteenth. He believes it's particularly important for former Confederate states to recognize this day. Debbie says, Benny Loco just announced you're live on our chat, so hopefully some more people will come and talk with you. Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you, Benny Loco, too. Bradley's home state of South Carolina was the first state to secede from the Union. And for that state to officially recognize Juneteenth, he believes it would be a milestone for both the state and the nation. Earlier this year, the lawmakers of his state proposed a bill offering a floating holiday for state employees to use on Juneteenth. That legislation was advanced by the Senate, but has thus far failed to clear the House. That's reminiscent to me. That's reminiscent to me about how a lot of things were centered around Martin Luther King Day, because that's the way it used to be around here for me in my career, which I can't legally speak about, but it used to be like that you had to take a day off, but you could take the day off and it wasn't considered an adverse thing if you did. Like, your employer had to give you the right to take the day off as long as you had a vacation day to use. Then they actually made it a holiday. Bradley continues, quote, it wouldn't be fully reconciled. It wouldn't have fully reconciled what had taken place, but it would have been a good start. And he's somebody that has organized Juneteenth celebrations in the capital of Columbia, South Carolina, for the past 5 years. He's hopeful that his state will eventually adopt it, but he believes it'll take years. Some of the activists want it to be equal to June 4th. Doris Moore Bailey is one of these. She's from Lakeland, Florida, and she believes it should be treated like July 4th. Now, I have to say that that's what I've heard from people who support this as a federal holiday. They want it to be equated to July 4th because they see July 4th as being the white person's or Caucasians' Day of Freedom, and Juneteenth being the Day of Freedom for former slaves, or really their progeny in current times. Florida is among those states yet to designate it an official state holiday. Well, that explains something. In part because of the controversy over what day to commemorate, whether to commemorate on June 19th or on the day that people in Florida learned they were emancipated. Yeah, that's just a freaking cop-out. We know this. It's a freaking cop-out by our state, the Republicans in this state. Anything they can do to avoid giving us another day off. A Juneteenth, excuse me, a Juneteenth state holiday bill died after some historians argued that the state should honor the date that was Florida's Emancipation Day, and that would be May 20th of the year. Hi, Crystal. Welcome to chat. Bailey continues, we have two Independence Days, June 19th and the 4th of July. One freed the people and one freed the land. Good point, Bailey. Since 1992, she and former State Representative Reddick have worked to establish Juneteenth as an annual tradition in her city. 3 decades ago, her event garnered less than 50 people. This year, 300 attended. Despite the growing popularity in Lakeland and across Florida, Bailey says she still struggles to receive support from city leaders. The city has publicly proclaimed June 19th as Juneteenth Day in Lakeland, but has yet to be recognized as an official public holiday. Andrea celebrates. Woohoo! Lakeland, Florida. Oh, that's a good thing to think about the mail. Do you mean the mail that there might be no mail tomorrow? Yeah, probably, because federal holiday would prevail for the mail. So, yeah. In Lakeland, the mayor said it wasn't considered to be a public holiday because the city calendar is planned a year in advance, but, quote, certainly something we can observe in the future. Bailey believes there's still work to be done for non-African American lawmakers to take Juneteenth more seriously and more quickly. It's considered a federal holiday, I believe. I think really, because I could probably ask Google, hey, Google, is Juneteenth a federal holiday?
Yes, yes.
There's your answer. So it's a federal holiday, but a state does not have to observe it because, in other words, the post office will be closed tomorrow and any federal building will be closed tomorrow. But if it's a state building, it would depend on what state you live in. Crystal says, it's really hot in Florida today, I see. I think it's considered a federal holiday. Yes, it is. Aaron said, Obama made it a federal holiday. Just not observed in all states. Correct. As of yet, anyway, because we read earlier that there were 26 states that have not adopted it to the state. So anything run by state government is not going to be involved. And Andrea comments on the Florida weather, saying it was 103 yesterday, 102 today, and then we had thunderstorms. That's in Andrea's part of the world, which is the central part of the state. I don't know if she wants to know, haven't known specifically where she lives, but she's in the hotter part than I am. That I will say. Continue with the article. It says, in Bailey's words, quote, "It can still be divisive. They're not going to do any heavy lift to make it equal to July 4th. The challenge is this is a marathon, not a sprint. That's how I see the journey to Juneteenth," end quote. Hey, welcome, Lynette. Lynette, you are in Facebook. Let's see. So we have one viewer in Facebook, one viewer in Twitch, and 6 viewers in YouTube. So when we have key important stuff, I will repeat what's said. Lynette puts a star in the sky and says Juneteenth, thereby celebrating the day. So now, meanwhile, Alabama has adopted Juneteenth as a state holiday this year, but whether that will be permanent policy is ultimately up to the state legislature. Debbie shouts out to everyone and says hello and says thanks for joining. So Debbie is on YouTube. Aaron is on YouTube. Andrea is on YouTube. Lynette is on Facebook. We have Robin as in male Robin. And we have Crystal. And I think that's everybody that's in chat. So we have basically 2 guys and 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 5 women chatting today? I think. I'm counting myself. Happy Father's Day, says Lynette. Lynette says a holiday in June is fine for my month. So this must be Lynette's birthday month. There's more in this article. I could continue to read, not a whole lot, but it talks about Unique Morgan Dunstan. So it doesn't give Unique Morgan Dunstan any official titles. So I guess that individual is just someone who was speaking. But Dunstan says that it's especially meaningful in places like Marshall County of Alabama, where there's only 3% of the population being people of color or Black. So, it is important. And it is important to learn about the thing. So, Lynette, are you looking for the name of the broadcast? Because the name of the broadcast is Freedom, Speech, and You, and I don't know if it's easy enough to find on YouTube. I can put up the banner again so that you can see the website. Take my photo out of there or make it big. That's the website. The website is kenotto21.wixsite.com/freedom-speech-and. So take that back out. Give me comments. Yes, Biden is the one that made the holiday, not Obama. Obama was the one who signed into legislation the I want to say the proper name, the observance of Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday as a holiday. So Obama made that a holiday, and Biden made Juneteenth a holiday for the federal holidays. And happy birthday to Lynette. Okay, so did anybody come with topics that they want to discuss tonight? Any specific topics you want to discuss tonight? And I won't put it up. The Aaron says Obama, Biden, same thing. When is the next committee viewing? That's an interesting one. If you're curious as to how long Father's Day has been celebrated, it's been the third Sunday of June since 1910. So let's go find the schedule for the January 6th commission. I know that's been circulating around, but I don't know without reading what the thing. Andrea says she thinks it's Tuesday. This shows the timeline for last year, so I have to scroll quite a bit. So hang on. Did I scroll past it? This only shows the dates that they have actually held the hearing, so this doesn't tell you. So that's of no use. Glad I didn't waste any time putting that on screen. This is the official website, so I can look at that. Let's see what that says. Of course, there's one other way to find out, and that's to go to their media center. So Andrea said she thought it was Tuesday. Crystal's curious. I thought there was going to be more information out of Jan 6th than has been. There has been a lot. I think they're just being very meticulous, Andrea, trying to reveal certain things on each day, because I think they know that if they went too many hours, a lot of the public would tune out. So they're trying to keep it to a set number of hours each time. Lynette says, mahalo, Andrea. They say we have as many days to celebrate as how many days, as how many years we are. So Lynette is basically saying whatever age she is, she can have that many days to celebrate this year. Crystal says, I really hope people listen to this. It's pinning it down, I think. Yes, Crystal, I really do hope they listen. Andrea says, hey, Lynette, happy birthday. So, and Andrea's doing that in YouTube because Lynette has joined everybody in YouTube. So I think we're all in YouTube right now, except for one viewer on Twitch. And that is not me. In previous nights, I wondered if the Twitch viewer was me, but whoever the Twitch viewer is watching, and I haven't seen the Twitch viewer commenting. So I hope the Twitch viewer comments. There should be no restrictions. Yeah, no restrictions on the Twitch viewers, so the Twitch viewers should be able to comment. Now, do they have anything here? They have all these press releases, but they don't really get into anything. So let me go to YouTube, because I know that they do put themselves up on YouTube. So let me go to my subscriptions and find their channel. I wonder, is there a way to search? No, maybe. I mean, there's a way to search through all that, but I don't know if there's. I mean, usually when I do this, it brings them up. But I wish that when I search for Gen 6, I could just have it show me the official one right away. I'm looking for it, Andrea, but the problem is that it's organized based on who pays to have themselves listed on YouTube first. So unfortunately, I can't just see that. So I'm going to go back to my subscriptions and see if I can see the subscription. So how many days ago was the last hearing? Because that'll get me. Hey, Caitlin, welcome to the chat. Come on, it's got to be in here somewhere. Probably would be easier to do this on my phone than on this computer because it's just not coming up. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to search on my phone. I'll search on my phone. Search for January 6th commission, or look at my subscription. That'll help. Okay, boom, right to the list.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Oh, be quiet, Google. I'm not talking to you. Sometimes that thing is so funny. Andrea found the answer quicker than I did. So Andrea found the answer while I've been hunting around for it. She found June 21st, which is 2 days from now at 1 p.m. Eastern, which would be noon Central, 11 a.m. Mountain, and 10 a.m. Pacific, and for Lynette, 7 a.m. Crystal says, since my mom's birthday is at the end of November, the 1st of December, and mine the end of December, plus all the holidays, it's a good excuse to just celebrate all the time at the end of the year and 1st of January. Is January 6th the subject? Yes, Lynette. And Andrea found the answer. And I do not see them posting a link per se. Which is interesting. So that means they haven't posted the link yet, but I guess they'll post the link later. So I never would have found it looking through the list. That would have never worked at all. And birthdays and pleasantries are still being exchanged. And we currently have 5 viewers on YouTube and still 1 on Twitch who is being extremely quiet. So our Twitch viewer is just watching us. Okay. Midas Touch will be streaming on YouTube, yes. So you can watch on all of the usual news sources. You can watch via Midas Touch. You can go to, what was I going to say? Oh, you can go to the Gen 6 Commission if you can find it. And they do have their own. The only thing about going to the Gen 6 Commission, though, is that it is a public stream available to youth, so it will not allow you to comment. So it's good if you don't want to read comments or comment, but if you want to comment with your friends, then you want to be on a different one. And yes, Hal will be tweeting about it on Twitter. Crystal said you wanted subjects. Yes. Discussing birthdays is a subject. That's perfectly fine. While we're at it, can you find some other people out there to join us? Give them the link. And if you got here tonight, how did you get here? Did you get the notification? Did you go through the website? Or how did you get here? Or are you one of the 3 people that I sent email to? One of them's not here. He must be busy doing something else. Unless he's the one peering in on Twitch and not saying a word. So, not sure. But, whatever. Okay. So, what happened today? Again, we can ask you. Crystal says she used the email. Wonderful. Okay. Yep, I sent that out. Hey, how about some topics? Topics. Andrea says, know what I miss? To Aaron. I know what you miss. You miss your voice. You miss being able to talk. Lynette says, YouTube is great, especially the comments, except Facebook is much easier to leave an emoji and reply since not being on a tablet, not exactly sure which is the easiest. The easiest thing is probably to be with other people because the emojis and things of that sort are really not visible to me. So, you can share emojis amongst yourselves, but I can't see them. So If you're trying to share emojis with me, I don't see them anyway. What does everyone think about the body language guy on Stuttering John? I wish that I had paid complete attention to everything that he said. I was mostly just kind of looking in on that show and doing the stuff with the people in the chat, maybe a little bit, and distracted at the same time. Lynette says that spelling is just different. I think you mean that you don't get spell check, and that they say Facebook is for old ladies. Facebook's for whoever want to use Facebook. I'm not sure what Erin is talking about. She says she hates those kids to Andrea. Andrea says, yes, I do miss my voice. And that she just doesn't answer the door. So we must be discussing something going on at the door of the house. And Cigar F1 says hello from Maggie's Valley, North Carolina, and is our viewer on Twitch tonight. Hey, Cigar F1, thank you for coming and joining in either via the invite coming from Twitch or because Benny Loco sent you here, because we know Benny Loco sent you last week. Robin says, I do too. I wish we could control the videos over John like Hal can do. Not sure what that means. And Andrea says he was dead on. So I think we're still talking about the body language guy. He usually is very accurate. I wish I had paid more attention to that show the other day. Caitlin says, I was an early adopter of Facebook and now I really go on. Had to snooze and block a lot of Trumpy people. It's a cesspool. Yes, it is. It has good people on it, but it is very much a cesspool because most of the Trumpers, that's the only thing they've found, and that's what they think the internet is, unless they use Twitter. I'm not sure what Robin is talking about. He says, my mom said it was a woman from day one. Cigar F1 says, I'm going between you and Benny Loco now. And Andrea is talking about something going on at Aaron West's house. Robin says he wished that Dr. Jack could control the videos instead of John. Okay. Andrea says to Robin, I wish they would have shown the side-by-side of Marjorie Taylor Greene and the bomber. Lynette asks, okay, if Gen 6 is the subject, it's over a year late, and hoping this time made it perfectly clear as to what happened. The thing about Jan 6 with the timing of these hearings, Lynette, is twofold. One, it takes a long time to investigate things and get people to talk because they're going to drag their feet and stall and not testify. And eventually, you know, you can put the screws to them physically and get them to testify. And the other thing is timing. Timing is extremely important because you want to have these hearings within a certain set time before the elections, or people will completely forget about what they saw, and then the elections will happen and they'll vote based on something else. Andrea says to Caitlin, I'm glad I don't do too much Facebook. And Andrea says to me, Dr. Jack. And I think you're still talking about the desire that you wish that Dr. Jack could control the videos that he's describing when he's on John's show. And Crystal is talking to Andrea saying, I've seen that, not sure where. So I'm presuming that you're talking about what Andrea said earlier, showing the side-by-side of Marjorie Taylor Greene and the bomber. Andrea says it is her, and she's talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene as she discusses back to Crystal. It's her side by side. You can't deny it's not her. Probably is. I mean, the body language expert could tell us more. Aaron West says, I have a Facebook addiction. Interesting. So do I. My phone tells me how much time I spend on there. Crystal says again about Marjorie Taylor Greene, I noticed that the shoes look like the same. They are kind of odd looking. Well, odd shoes for an odd person. Now we have 9 viewers. So we have 7 on YouTube, 2 on Twitch. So good. Cigar has a companion on Twitch to talk directly to. Cigar, I know you're out there jumping between me and Benny Loco at the same time. So thank you for tuning in. Robin says Stuttering John is always trying to figure out which video to pull up. Yeah, I guess that's so. Crystal laughs out loud. Possibly to me, I'm not sure. Caitlin laughs out loud and says for her sport feet, laughing out loud. Crystal says in the affirmative, indeed. Andrea says, I think the Jan 6 committee is doing this right up till the SCOTUS and the abortion decisions. Yep. I think that's important to time all of this around the other things going on, because too many people, not ourselves, but too many people have a very short memory, and you have to keep it in their memory before they vote. Crystal says in the affirmative, yep. Andrea says they have a lot to do all of this before the midterms to get it into full swing. Yes, indeed, they do. And it helps in a way that these things are happening during the summer, because you have children out of school and children that are reaching the age of early adulthood or adult level cognitive thought are able to watch this, and they're making up their minds as well. Robin from Andrea directs us to Robin. Yeah, he tries though. She's talking about John and the discussion of what videos to run. I think John wishes he could get through an entire line list of videos, but he knows that his guests have limited amounts of time. Lynette asks, where is the conversation you're reading about MTG? Anyway, no connection at all at home. There's a class action in our town for the provider. Well, we are all super remote in the middle of the ocean. The conversation that I'm reading, Lynette, is right out of the chat. So if for some reason you're missing out on elements of the chat, then you're missing out on the elements. But the other thing is that I have short-term memory, so I'm taking what they're writing and I'm analyzing it through my own filter and figuring out what they're talking about. And then I'm saying, okay, this relates to that. I know that it's extremely difficult to follow when you don't have the linkage that Facebook has, but that's the fun part. When I totally concentrate on the chat, then I can kind of usually link things together. Lynette says it's a pinball world. I presume you mean that you're like in and out of the box every time with your internet. Robin says, oh, I know. Hal would just take over and pull up the videos. Hal needs to tutor Dr. Jack on how to do that. Robin, you need to realize, though, one of the reasons why Hal can take over the videos is because Hal has administrative access to John's computer, or he does through the StreamYard program, which is the same program I'm using, because he helped him set it up. I'm not sure that John would give Dr. Jack that level of access, or whether Dr. Jack would want to do that. But yes, if you have administrative access to StreamYard when you're participating as a, excuse me, sorry. When you're participating as a guest, if you have administrative access, you can control the computer and you can take over. If you don't have it, you can't. Crystal says house shows are getting really hard to follow lately. Sometimes they are, yes. Sometimes I'm really into the topic, and I tend to be more into the topic when I'm eating and I can't chat. Because if I'm eating and my hands are consuming food, then I'm not touching my phone. And then I'm not participating in chat, and I can focus completely more on the show. But if I am focused on other things, or if I am focused on chatting with people in chat, then I'm not able to follow along really closely. And a lot of that, Crystal, depends on how interested I am in the topic. Andrea says to Robin, Stuttering John will get it, and Dr. Jack, I think, was being respectful of Stuttering John. Robin says, oh, I didn't know all that. I'm spitballing here. Well, see, Robin, one of the reasons why I know the inner workings of what goes on with John's show is because we use the same software. And Hal occasionally uses this software, I think, with one of his computers when he's doing a remote. But Hal uses a different software that I would like to get into and start using that would make it easier, because then you guys would be able to all see each other chat. Crystal says, though, then I just focus on Hal rather than the chat. Yes, got to focus on Hal if the content is extremely heavy. Robin says, I missed Stuttering John live Saturday, watched it last night. Yep, I watch shows after the fact sometimes because I have to. Like I miss on Wednesday because I got stuff going on Wednesdays in the timeline of the afternoon show for Al. And it's not uncommon for me to miss the start of either show because of both of those shows being at my food times for lunch or dinner. So. So you're keeping me good with chat. You all have any topics you want to see or read about? Or we can just keep this open chat night. That was actually Andrea's suggestion, that we have like open chat night. And that's really the whole entire focus of the show, is to give you a chance to talk about stuff and talk to each other. So, never have to look at a single article as far as that goes if you want to just chat away. Makes the time go by. The other thing that's good about you writing chat and me reading it and interacting with you is that I can look into the camera straight on. Andrea says to Crystal, Hal does talk about some good stuff, just sometimes it's not always organized. Crystal says Marjorie Taylor Greene is really saying stupid stuff more than usual. Yes, she is, Crystal. I'm going to have to do something about all those Peachtree dishes. Cracks me up when she makes a mistake like that. I'm surprised in a way. Are you? I'm surprised in a way that Hal has not taken her Peachtree dish and all those other things and cut out sound bites of that for the start or close of the show. So is Matt. What's up? Did I miss stuff about Matt Gaetz? I haven't really seen a Matt Gaetz clip lately. Andrea says to Robin, Stuttering John has his beer on the balcony. Blah, 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 beer on the balcony. And Major went through all his photos. It was nice. Yes, that was nice. Crystal says, and she has no clue, talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Robin laughs out loud, not sure to what. Don't know if it has anything to do with that or what. Andrea says he did do sound bites on Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay. Are they like the little video clips that are like a minute or so long, or did he put them in at the end of the show and I missed that? Because what I was talking about was the kind of sound bites that occur during the credits that are like Motang and all that stuff that Trump did. Remember all those Motang and the what's the other one? We're going to appoint pro-crime judges. All those things, you know. No, you will see when he gets it done. Okay, I will. Thank you. That will be interesting and fun. Aaron puts up carrots so as to remind us of, we have here tonight Mike Pence and his lovely wife, Carrot. Oh, that's so funny. That is just too funny. The thing about Hal's show that's always fun is if I've never seen the particular unique phrasing of something that he puts on a t-shirt, I always have to like look it up and figure out what it's from. Crystal says, laugh out loud. Yes, that is what I was thinking. I think we lost Lynette. I guess her internet connection died for a while. We have 3 people still on YouTube and 2 still on Twitch. So we have a total of 5 right now. So I guess some people migrated in and out or their connections died. And I don't know if I should have sent out Discord invites directly to people. I have a feeling I dropped the ball on that one. I logged into Discord on the other computer. I could probably do it on my phone. You've only been at this about 1 hour. Oh, you did. Okay. Thank you, Andrea. The one that I was wondering about was, I don't know her name, but I know her handle is something like H Gods or something like that. So I'm just going to talk to my phone. Hey, are you busy tonight? Do you want to watch our show? Question mark. Because she said that she wanted to go watch the show. So let's see if she replies to me. Please go on Twitter. Okay. Does that mean that I'm supposed to read something that you tweeted? Or that you want me to just go on Twitter and read some stuff? Aaron sneezed. God bless you, Aaron. So there's some chat. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Go on Twitter and find Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay, thank you, Andrea. So you're watching Freedom Speech, and if you forgot what you're watching tonight, and Andrea is our executive producer who keeps me on track. And it would have helped if I'd have put in their Twitter, TWITTER. Oh, so one thing she's put is 8 hours ago, she puts Happy Father's Day. A good father makes a difference in a child that will last a lifetime. Being a good father makes a difference in a man that will also last a lifetime. Thank you to all of our good fathers. And she has a video up there. Is this the one you want? This pretty much sums up the state of our country. And something to do with Walmart. Is that the one you want me to show, Andrea? Yes. Okay. Okay, so I bring that up. Get that back. And now we get to find out if my new computer can play sound, because I had not tested it. So now we get to find out. And I got to turn my sound back up so that I can hear it along with you. Check 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's hope this has sound. Is that what you wanted to see, Andrea? Ron Filipowski and, of course, Major. It was a busy day. GOP is so dumb, says Andrea. Marjorie Taylor Greene says, don't let the left steal our freedom. Okay. So I don't know if I showed the right video or not, so please tell me if I showed the wrong one. Mute that so I don't have to hear myself in echo. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt video. Okay. So I'm going to take and shrink that down. And is it on Ron Filipowski? Is that where it is? It's not. That's what I'm thinking, is that you wanted me to go to Ron Filipowski. So I'm gonna make that assumption, and I'm gonna go to Ron Filipowski. Not sure if I'm spelling his name right, but so I'm going to Ron. Ron or the Major, she says. Okay. Looking. Looking. It's an awful lot of videos on his thing. So hang on. Crystal, in the meantime, says, I don't think MTG knows what insurrection and enabled targeted harassment means. And neither does Tucker Carlson. Okay, I found something from 5 hours ago that has the dynamic duo
we
of
will
dumb.
move. They're saying
So
they'll move out
let's
of
see
Georgia. They'll move to Alabama, Tennessee, or
what the
Florida.
dynamic
Okay.
duo
We'll
of
take
dumb has to say. So I got that back to the start. It's got audio. Got to put my audio back on for myself so I can hear along with you. And bring up the video. And play it.
Problems. Number one, most people I know that like whose kids have grown and they're empty nesters, they all say, we will move. They're saying they'll move out of Georgia. They'll move to Alabama, Tennessee, or Florida. Your
Okay.
state.
We'll take them.
Yeah, y'all are getting everybody. So they're saying the Stacey Abrams. So that's Republican votes leaving. That's a big problem.
Red flight.
Oh yeah, problems. Number one, most people I know that like whose kids have grown and they're empty nesters, they all say, we will move. They're saying they'll move out of Georgia. They'll move to Alabama, Tennessee, or Florida. Your
Okay.
state.
We'll take them.
Yeah, y'all are getting everybody. So they're saying the Stacey Abrams. So that's Republican votes leaving. That's a big problem.
Red flight.
Oh yeah, problems. Number one, most people I know that like whose kids have grown and they're empty nesters, they all say, we will move. They're saying they'll move out of Georgia. They'll move to Alabama, Tennessee, or Florida.
Okay.
Your state.
We'll take them.
Yeah, y'all are getting everybody. So they're saying the Stacey Abrams. So that's Republican votes leaving. That's a big problem.
Red flight.
Oh yeah, problems. Number one, most people I know that like whose kids have grown and they're empty.
Okay, are you still hearing it? Because I think it went through a couple of times. And I'm sorry if that was doubling up, because it was doubling up for me. So I don't know if it was doubling up for you, but it was like echoing for me. It's a very short clip, Crystal. So it was repeating itself over and over again. I mean, it's very short. Yes, we heard it and saw it, says Andrea. Aaron laughs at the term red flight, which I'm not sure what that means. Robin says two idiots. Crystal acknowledges, oh, okay, and yes. Was there anything else that was on Ron Filipowski's? Audio was fine for you. I'm glad. It was doubling for me, so I think there's maybe a setting failure in my audio settings that I may have to review later, but I didn't want to change anything tonight and not have any audio at all. So I've been putting up with the fact that I hear myself an echo and just muting my earpieces when I'm not listening to video. Andrea says to Robin, yeah, I would love to know who she talks to. Well, I'm just going to get up and move if Blue wins for governor. Look at Ron's. He had a busy day. Yeah, he has quite a few things up there. There's this up there that I want to bring up. And so I'll bring this up. Oh, well, that would have worked. Hang on. That's what I get for breaking this share. So this is what I wanted to show you is here's good old Trump, and the caption reads, every time Biden hugs a kid, they all go nuts as if there's something wrong with it. And look at this kid hugging Trump. Apparently he likes smelly grandpa. I have no idea why I would not want to do that. Not me, kid. Definitely not. There's a video with Trump if you say whatever. So there's a video with Trump on Ron's. So let's see what Trumpy has to say. And in a second here, I'll pause it so I can get it back to the start. So put this up.
With the Hispanic community, they've never seen anything like it.
They
actually said I'm the most popular person.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm muted, so I can't hear it. You're going to hear it probably 3 times because I'm going to stop it when it gets to the end. And I'm going to pull it back, and I'm going to open my speakers so I can hear it. So what does he have to say?
With the Hispanic community, they've never seen anything like it. They actually said I'm the most popular person or political person, I guess. I don't know. And I'm doing damn well with the black community.
That man and his big bad ego. And what in the world is going on here? What in the world is going on with this flag? looks like somebody put the flag over the sewer grate that they use for the what is that movie where the lady walks by in the red dress and the dress flows up? My oh my. Just embarrassing, that man. Okay, what else is on Ron's? This one's got Herschel Walker. Okay, so let's stop that. Pull that back. Bring that up. What does Herschel Walker have to say? Okay, so click it on.
That's why I want you to wake up and be vigilant. Don't let them do these tricks on you. It's like a magic trick. All they're trying to do is confuse you with racism over here. All they're trying to do is confuse you with the Build Back Better plan over here. They're trying to confuse you and they pass these terrible policies by you, and that's not right. It's not fair. So we got to get and be vigilant and know that we love this country, but we got to stand up together and fight for this country. That's why.
Okay, so he's complaining about Biden's Build Back Better policies. Lady in Red, thank you so much, Aaron. Kelly LeBrock. Crystal says, another stupid person. If not stupid, then I don't know what game he's playing. Yeah. For most kids, it's a good Father's Day. For this poor child, nope. I feel sorry for him. I should not giggle. There is nothing funny about that. The only thing funny is the two people standing over him and not getting his pain. Oh, my. This is hilarious. Oh, my gosh. Hang on, I'll show you what I'm laughing my head off at. Let me get it up on the share screen. Andrea says, I told you that there's some good stuff on Ron's. This is what's up on Ron's. And let me make it bigger. Go away. I hate pop-ups. Don't stare at that too much. So the headline says that, let me take it back. Quick. Diamond and Silk threatened to shoot anyone tracking their trash. Scroll so we can get past those things. Don't try to track conspiracy theorists, Diamond and Silk, or they'll shoot you. Sorry. Appearing on Newsmax, the women showed a video of the World Economic Forum where the tracker was discussed, saying that it would be a cold day in hell before they care about how much trash they're producing. They claim that the WEF wants to track them like there's some kind of rabid dog or robot, their words. 5 eggs, the audience says 5 eggs. According to the host, anyone tracking them will get their Second Amendment rights as a response. You mean they can shoot? Asked why the WEF wants to track them. Boy, the article, I'm sorry, these ads are just blowing all over my screen. Go away, ads. Smartphones have been tracking the users' movements for decades. Google and Bing also track users, as does Facebook and Twitter and other social media sites. How is Ron DeSantis doing? Horrible. I'll answer that for you. So this is their video. Ho, ho, ho. Shall we watch? Where's the thing? Can we screen it? Can we get it to come full screen? Yeah, that should be close enough.
Individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
Yeah, these aren't global elitists. These are global thugs.
Yes.
Yeah, I call them their evildoers. Because why is it that you feel like your Lily Maid self want to track other people like we some type of rabid dog or some type of animal or something,
or a robot?
Yeah. Like what? Why are you all sitting your Lily Maid self up there trying to play God when you're not?
Come on.
When you're not. Yeah. And see, this is why we cannot allow them to chip away at our Second Amendment, because we may need it still. Because it looks like these people want to track us, globalize us, and make us into something that we are not. And they're pushing this mess on to the people, and the people are telling you, we don't want this.
We don't want that.
We don't want this here.
Yeah.
You got these people sitting up here trying to make decisions for the rest of the world. Who are they?
Yes.
Who died and left y'all in charge? Who said you all was in charge? Just because you done made a little money, you think you can tell the little people what to do.
Come on.
Well, just because you are a grasshopper, it's more ants than grasshoppers.
That's right.
Understand that. It's more of us than them.
And what is keeping up with our carbon footprint? How is that going to help we, the American people?
Well, why are they worried about tracking us?
Oh.
What do you all have planned?
Oh, that's the undercover hoopla.
That's the undercover hoopla.
Gotcha.
Listen, I don't believe that the United States of America want to go into globalism, socialism, or communism.
That's right.
Now, if that's what y'all want to do, go build yourself an island and do it over there.
That's right.
But not here.
Not in America.
Individual carbon footprint tracker.
So that was their statement. I'm going to see something here. Check 1, 2, 3. Can you all hear me? Check 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? You're not saying anything. Okay. I'm going to see if there's another video. What's this video about? I think I might have solved my doubled audio from my self issue. So I'm going to find out in a minute or two. So this Ron Filipowski tweet is about what 2 days ago, Mo Brooks' usual GOP platform is now stopping Mitch McConnell. Quote, there's nobody I can think of who would go to the Senate and take on Mitch McConnell. Mo Brooks is not afraid of Mitch McConnell. So this is about somebody that might take on Moscow Mitch. Okay, so I am going to try to share this screen because I want to see if I have completely solved my audio problem that I've been having where I've been hearing doubled audio. So bear with me. So I'm going to go to this. Okay, you can see that. Now I'm going to see if I can hear this.
And Mike, they need backup and support. And there is nobody that I can think of that would go to the United States Senate and take on Mitch McConnell and stand reinforcing those guys that have been there for years, trying to get conservative principles passed through the United States Senate. Mo Brooks is not afraid of Mitch McConnell.
Okay, so thank you for bearing with me on that because I was trying to get rid of the duplicate audio where I was hearing myself and hearing the playback video, and I finally did that. So now I can hear what you're hearing instead of hearing echoey stuff because I figured out that I had the sound playback turned on in the remote computer, and because I'm using the same session and I didn't turn that computer off the way I usually turn off the computer I usually use is the remote computer. That's why I was hearing echo. So yay me. And yay for the fact that you were not hearing that echo at home, because that would have been annoying if you were hearing what I heard. So anyway, ready for that. Now what else is on Ron's? Now that I can enjoy it along with you. Ron has something to say about the J6 Commission. So this is an interesting little tidbit. He says this. Welcome back, Andrea Brower. Ron Filipowski says McCarthy's great miscalculation was his refusal to allow his conference to participate in the J6 Commission. They could have tried to obstruct, delay, limit scope, ask friendly questions, leak to him what they learned. Now they're driving blind with no idea what's coming next. Absolutely. So chat room, did I miss anything while I was dealing with my little audio issue? I think mostly you've been talking to each other and noting about the ads and so forth. And a couple of you made comments about the infamous 5 eggs ladies and their lack of perceived ability of how to shoot. And I'm being told to check Bob Seska, so I will do that. Reminder, you're watching Freedom of Speech and You, and I'm your host, Ken, and your executive producer, Andrea, is keeping me on track. So, CESTA. That's why I couldn't follow him before. Because I didn't spell his name right. I was thinking it started with an S instead of a C. So now that I got that, Go back to Bob Seska. B-O-B. Oops. Doop, doop, doop. B-O-B. Nope, that wasn't a B. C-E-S-C-A. Okay. Who is exactly right, Andrea? The GOP is very dumb. Right now, you all are exchanging pleasantries with each other and welcoming Andrea back. There's a thing about a Senate Health Committee holding a single speaker with a journalist for opioid. That doesn't seem very smart. Should be somebody else to testify at that. Did I go on the wrong Bob Seska thing? Probably. Let's see if that's the Bob Seska that I'm supposed to be on. Yep, that's not the right one. Okay, so let's try that last name with the S starting instead of a C starting. That's not right. Okay, Google, how do you spell the talk show host Bob Seska's last name?
The talk show host Bob Seska's last name is spelled Thetalkshowhostbobsca, single quote SLASTNAME.
Not even close. I don't think she understood what I said. Hey Siri, Bob Seska.
Bob Cheska is an American director, producer, writer, actor, blogger, and political commentator. Want to hear more?
Okay, so that's the right spelling, but that's not the spelling of his account. So let's see. B-O-B. And you're all are wondering, how does he not know? Because in all the times I've listened to Bob Seska, I still have not overheard the appropriate Twitter handle and never have signed up, but now I have. So that's fixed. The point is that sometimes people's, hey, Kinky Streets, welcome to the chat. Sometimes people's Twitter handles are something in addition to their name. So his is Bob Seska _go. So he has a photo from last year of Tucker Carlson. We see that dude enough. We don't need to see that. Is this a video? I hope this is a video. Or is it just a screenshot? And we have an attachment from Andrea. Thank you. I found it. It just wasn't Bob Seska. His Twitter handle wasn't equivalent to his name. That's the point I'm getting at. And that's what's different from him and Hal Sparks, because Hal Sparks is just Hal Sparks. Bob Seska has an _GO after it, which is why I couldn't find it before when I did look it up. This is probably good for a laugh in the audience. So let's see. Let's put that stuff. So Trump would never do anything awkward, embarrassing, like riding a bike, would he? I think there's a second photo in this. Ooh, how about these stats? This is actually seen on Fox News. Hang on. 88% support background checks for guns. 82% legal age 21 for an assault rifle. 81% flag people who are a danger to self. 63% ban assault weapons. And that's a recent poll, June 10th through 13th. And so people keep saying that the oil production is down and that's why it's so expensive, and Hal just like says no way. This says US crude oil production rose to 12 million for the week ending June 10th, the highest level since April 2020 when the pandemic took hold. So definitely not. Aaron West says Trump can't fit anything that wears properly. Kinky Street says he can't dance. He's such a klutz. Crystal is glad that she missed the gross picture of Trump playing tennis. So. Oh, here's another one of him.
You know, I make this pledge to you today.
What kind of pledge does he make here? Hang on. Hang on.
I make this pledge to you today. I will never, ever ride a bicycle. You know, I make this pledge to you today. I will never, ever ride a bicycle.
I don't think he could. I don't think he could. He probably couldn't get on one, says Andrea. That's true. Kinky Streets picked up on 6 in 10 Americans say Trump should be charged for January 6th riot. Poll, yes. He won't own a pet. He won't ride a bike like those who support him who are idiots. Yep. This is from 2 days ago. And these are the front pages of several papers. Is this up to full size? No. Let me make it a bit bigger. That's be big enough for you to read the headline, but the headline's basically Carl Quintanilla says, page one, Trump pressured Pence and incited a mob against him in New York Times. Washington Post, Trump new plan was illegal. Los Angeles Times, Trump was told his plot was illegal. Chicago Tribune, Trump advisors called plot nuts. So there's evidence printed in the papers. Robin says, I sent you a fire video. Okay, let me see if I still have the Discord open on this computer because I don't remember. I might have to log in. Yep, got to log in. to do the QR code thing again. A couple of Magoos there. Some Magoos. Come on, come on. Where are you? There it is. Okay, logging in. No, it's just I'm using a new computer, Robin. And even if I was using the computer I was using in the previous weeks, I still would not have been logged in because I had a glitch and had to empty the cache. So now it's just being slow for whatever reason. I don't know. Hold my phone up to the air and see if I can get a better signal. Come on. Don't know why it's being that way. Okay, I'm logged in. Crystal says, at least we have the info to back up what we saw and heard. Yes, Jan 6. Andrea affirms that. Crystal says, Magoo. Crystal says, it's a good thing they were so incompetent. Imagine if they had a clue what they were doing in regard to Jan 6. So, yes. And Robin sent me a message. And Andrea says, fire today down the street from my mom's. Okay. Robin, you sent it, I think, in the main Discord. Okay. And so that's a video. Can I make that bigger anyhow? Can I download it? Okay, so I downloaded Robin's video. Let me see how big I can make it. That should work. What I don't know is whether I can share that as the video. So we'll see what happens. So let's see, can I share that? Hopefully I can. No, I don't want to share that. I want to take that out. I want to bring a new one in. I share it as a screen. Is it there? That's going to share that. No, I want to share a file. So let's see if I can share it as a file. Where did that file go? Theoretically, it went in the down. Okay, there it is. So this is the fire down the street from Robin's mom's. Yeah, Andrea says that wasn't much of a little file. And I think you wanted me to discord the second message you sent, Andrea. So if not, let me know. Kinky Street says so many evil billionaires in USA, and he names a few. Andrea agrees with him. Robin says he took the video from his phone. Andrea remarked that wasn't a small fire and questions how far away. And Aaron gives some shocked responses. Kinky Streets goes on about the billionaires who were not born in the USA, kind of wrong. Robin says I threw a wrench in the show. Not really, Robin, because I have a new computer tonight, so that was not really difficult at all. The only difficult thing was the fact that I wasn't logged into Discord yet because it's a new computer. But as I said, even if I was using the old one, which was getting clunky, that old computer would not have been logged in either because I had browser problems today and had to dump everything that was in my history. So Robin says apparently the pole on fire had his mom's phone, internet, and cable. And Kinky says hi to Robin. And others react about things. But yeah, Robin, I got a new computer. My friend actually provided me with a new computer. And so I have a new computer that doesn't use a physical hard drive. It has a solid state hard drive. So I'm able to download things a lot quicker and play things with a little bit more smoothness. So we are now running on a Windows 10 laptop for the video and a Windows 11 computer for the browser playback. So we are upgraded. And Andrea says that's what you meant about your mom's cable and internet going out. Robin says there was an ambulance or two about 6 or so houses away, I'm guessing. Aaron says hooray for solid state disk drives. Yes, definitely hooray. Because that like zoomed right through, downloading it. And my other computer was about 7 years old, and it was really having trouble with the show last week. And so it's kind of getting to the point where it needs to be used only for things that it can be used for. But yes. So yep, there's the irony of the fact is that the old computer is like a big, tall gaming console, and the new computer is like this little square that it's bigger than what I'm putting together with my hands, but basically this versus something tall that I can't even display with my hands on the screen. Suffice to say, this is an ordinary mouse pad, and the new computer is smaller surface area on top than this mouse pad. So what do we think January 6th will be showing on Tuesday? If I could have found the schedule, Andrea, then I could tell you that. There might be an article. So let's just see out of sheer curiosity. Let's go back to Twitter and close this down and see if there's stuff on here. 10/6 hearing June 21, 2022. Okay, so this tweet that I just found confirms that it is on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and that the next one will be on Thursday at 1 p.m., according to the announcement from a committee. So that's what we're supposed to see. And this might have some stuff in it. I don't know. Talks about the things. So before I bother to put it up, so this tells you what it's supposed to center upon. So let me put this up. Andrea asks, what do you all want them to show for the Jan 6 committee? Let me put myself in the corner and let me make this bigger because I made it smaller. Ads. So this is what it says. The next Gen 6 hearings will center on Trump's attempts to influence state legislatures on allegations Trump's, quote, summoned a violent mob as well. Robin says he wants them to show more proof of any and all crimes. Brian J. Karam says they're making it crystal clear. Convincing Pence to overturn the election was, quote, the center point, end quote, of the insurrection. Quote, America needs to know, says Judge Ludwig. I'd throw my body across the road before I'd let that happen. This is a constitutional mischief. So that was probably the testimony from the other day. Testimony of the next hearing will include Brad Raffensperger, Secretary of State of Georgia, and Gabriel Sterling, one of his top aides, according to statements from the committee. Day 4 is aimed at presenting evidence that Trump attempted to influence state legislators into delegitimizing election results. The committee will reconvene for that testimony. See, now that's old stuff. Unless this is mistaken, because this may be mistaken. They may have said 21st and put 1 in the article. So that's probably mistaken because below it says the following hearing will be on Thursday, June 23. The day 5 hearing and day 6 hearings are meant to show that Trump stoked a violent mob and directed them illegally to march on the U.S. Capitol. The committee said, it further said Trump failed to act to stop the mob in its invasion of a U.S. Capitol building. Day 5 will begin at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and a date for day 6 has not been announced. So they're going over the stuff that Judge said. Robin says he's going. Good night, Robin. Hey, we just finished hour number 2. So there's more to that if you want to read that, but it looks like some of this stuff is just rehashing old things. which we've already seen, and testimony that we've already seen. Andrea says she wonders if they'll show any text messages. Most of this is about the third hearing. And Judge Ledig's testimony, and I think that might be the end of that article. So they're probably not going to tell us any more. So, okay, good night, Aaron. So how about everybody else? Do you want to keep talking, or was this enough for you tonight? Are you ready to wind down? What's the general consensus? Because we've been at this for 2 hours. I have, anyway. And depending on who is left and who's already leaving, we have 1 person on Twitch and 4 on YouTube. So if we're losing 1, we're going to be down to 3 and 1. Good night, Aaron. Feel better. Crystal says, thanks for having it as usual. You're welcome. You're welcome, Aaron. Thank you. So are we winding it down or what? What's the consensus? It's been really good tonight. It's really good to actually stay more engaged with the chat. Really didn't have a whole lot of topics planned, so. Oh, Kinky Streets, are you still around? I still see, and I don't know if it's persistence, I still see 4 people on YouTube and 1 on Twitch. And like Andrea says, please hit the like on your way out. Hey, welcome back to Chat Kinky Streets. Crystal says, I think it's been a good night and I think it's time to go. Have a good rest for all you. Have a good rest of your night, all, she says. Kinky Streets had to let his dog out. So we figured out who let the dogs out. So what do you think, Kiki? What needs to be shown on January 6th testimony? Kiki says good night to Crystal. Crystal says next week we can go over what they cover on this week's commission reviews. Yes, we could. Andrea says yes, in agreement to Crystal Anderson's idea. So we still have 4 viewers, 3 on YouTube and 1 on Twitch. I guess Benny, thank you for your like, Crystal. I guess Benny Loco's got him busy tonight on her channel because we didn't see them come in tonight, but maybe they'll watch later. So if you're watching later, Benny Loco's group or anybody, if you're watching later and you enjoy this, please come back next week at the same time. We do this pretty much every week. So that's the way, the topic changes every week. The topics are what you say. That's why we're freedom speech and you. It's a big capital YOU because you dominate the chat. I'm sorry for my itchy nose, the allergies here in Florida. Kinky Street says he thinks changes need to come already. Not sure what that's in reference to. Changes to policy? Changes to what's going on with the committee meeting? Andrea asked if Garland will do anything, directed it at Kinky. Andrea thanks Crystal for the like. It seems too late for Garland now. Charges, not changes. One thing that I keep going back to when we talk about Garland and whether they do charges is I go back to something that Glenn Kirshner said. And that is, when Garland brings charges, he has to bring all the charges at once. So he has to have all the evidence and bring the charges, because once he brings charges, he cannot do further investigations of someone. So he has to have all the things that he wants to charge them with up front. So if he's not satisfied that he's able to charge them for everything that he wants to charge them with, he's not going to charge them right away. And there's also the possibility of what I said before when you were not on here, Kiki, that things are being held up to time those things before the election so that the people who spend less time paying attention to politics before they vote will see what happens and then vote based on that. But yeah, there's at some point we get to the final 2 or 3 months before election, and they really just have to do that, Yes, Kinky, if GOP takes control of the House, they can impeach Garland. Andrea says, do they give J6 to Garland before these hearings, or did he have them? Main thing is we need to make sure the GOP does not get control of the House. We need to remind everybody that is a Democrat to vote Democrat. We need to remind everybody that is not a convinced Trump voter to vote Democrat, because we need to have them realize what's been going on. Yes, Trump is a threat to national security, Kinky Streets. Andrea says, too bad we can't get Kirshner on. Andrea affirms that Trump is a threat to national security. Kinky Street says many vote on economics. Yes, and we need to explain to those people who only vote purely on economics, who are not convinced Trump voters, that they are better off under Biden than they are under Trump, and that everything that relates to inflation, or nearly everything that relates to inflation, has to do with the world as a whole and not Biden's policies. But yes, the smart people that vote for Trump, and that by that I mean the people that are educated that vote for Trump, are voting sheerly based on their own personal economics. The ones that vote for Trump because they're stupid are voting for Trump because they're stupid and they don't know any better. And because they've been brainwashed for years and years to vote Republican. Because it comes from their families and it comes from the pulpit, and that's why they're voting that way. And they just don't know any better. And the real thing that really, really, really bugs me is that they vote for, and they say they're voting for Republicans to preserve their Social Security, but it's the Republicans that would destroy Social Security. That's what really, really, really bugs me. People don't realize that a lot of this is from having a pandemic. Yes, Andrea, because if they don't believe in the pandemic, then they don't understand. And a lot of them don't understand basic economics, so therefore they can't understand. They only understand what the news sources that they watch feed them. And some of those news sources are not news sources. They're sources of different disinformation. Also from Trump doing a lot of shady crap, yes. Inflation is a Putin invasion, oil and food. It is to some degree, and we should not buy his oil, funding his war. But the other thing is that there is most definitely, because Hal pointed it out earlier, and I showed that earlier from Twitter, there's plenty of production of oil, but there is most definitely something here going on that oil prices and gasoline prices are high because the oil and gasoline companies want to make as much money as they can before everybody adopts vehicles that don't need their product. Andrea says also how much money all countries were in the pandemic at the same time. So we all are in this. Yes, because we get things from other countries. So the fact that we get our resources from other countries affects the price of everything. And it doesn't help that we have these people in Texas doing everything they can to embargo and delay the trucks coming in from Mexico so as to claim that there's people on them, so as to push the prices up. Andrea says we can't buy Putin's oil. Kinky Street says 99% of oil and defense company executives and directors vote GOP. Of course they do, because they make more money when they do. Let me tell you, when Putin does, Russians are going to rise up. Not sure what you mean by that. Oh, when he dies. Yeah, I would think so. Because they fear him right now, so there's certain things they can't do. The question is, how much do they really know? I mean, how much leaks in? We have from Hal that there is sources that leak these things in, and we have others like Hal who report the actual real news and say that things leak into them from other sources. Obviously, the state-run media doesn't tell them the truth, but things will change when he dies and he's not there, and people are not fearing him, and there's chaos as they pick a new leader. So yeah. So anyway, are you two had enough of a show for tonight, or what do you feel like? because it's Andrea and Kiki that are the ones doing all the talking. I don't think Putin has a successor. I think the Russians have seen or have heard about the outside world. It's probable they have to some degree, but it's also probable that there's a lot of people who are fed disinformation and that's all they see. So you can expect that just like there are people here who only watch Fox News, they have people there who only watch the state-run television and don't know any better. And they will rise up. I will tell you this, I would expect them to rise up if they are experiencing situations where they can't get what they want right now. Like if we could see how bad off their lives are, and if their lives are really bad and their lives don't get immediately better after his death, they definitely would rise up. Hopefully, says Kinky Streets. Andrea says, oh, good, you're still here. I think Andrea wants you to stick around, Kinky, because she knows that if you two are talking to each other, I'll stick around a little while longer. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Kinky says I'm doing stuff around the house. Andrea says to Kinky, well, we need to go. It's after 9 here, Kinky. Get back in Discord so we can continue conversation. That sounds like a good idea. I think you two could continue the conversation yourself, and we'll come back next week with things to discuss about the January 6th hearings. So I want to thank all of you who tuned in live. I want to thank anybody who tuned in and watched this show as a recorded show. And remember to meet us back here next week for Freedom, Speech, and You, and we'll be here to discuss your topics. And that's our show for tonight, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in.